Hello, guys. Welcome to another time with me. Now, how the heck? Yeah, great. I know you've been wondering why I have a dark shade on me. Well, got some problems in my eyes, and the other glasses that I use, it's just not helping. It's giving me false images, so um, it hurts, and I have to use this to protect the lights from the screen before I can go check up on my ophthalmologist, optician, whoever the person is, to help me get a better one. All right, so today this is what we're going to be doing. We've got a task from the same client yesterday, and they asked us to look around their domain controller. They have a domain controller on their environment. They want us to look around the configuration around it. It's a gaming, more like a gaming company. So they have an Active Directory set up. We're going to be auditing the domain for misconfiguration and see if we can exploit the misconfiguration to maybe get a shell and do some of the stuff on the box. So quickly, we're going to start by starting our VPN, which I already did because I didn't want the hiccups. Then we'll verify our IP address. So we have an IP in the domain. That's good. So we'll try to ping the host. The host IP is 10.174, I think, .209. Okay, so we can reach the host. It's good enough. Now we're going to run an nmap scan quickly to see what's in there. So nmap, I'll use the no ping on the IP. Oh, damn. I'll use a no ping on the IP just so I can 10.10.174.20, just so I can quickly see what ports are listening on that IP address. And I hope that's fast, pretty fast. Great. So we can see all the ports listening. There's 53 DNS, there's 80 HTTP, and there's 88 Kerberos. So I know there's an Active Directory domain setup. So because I can see Kerberos security setup on the domain. I can as well see LDAP. I can see the SMB, which we had exploited yesterday. Most likely we'll be using this today as well. We can see the LDAP servers listening as well. So great. We'll run another nmap scan, but this time around I'll use an aggressive A. A is a combination of service version, default scripting, and if I can remember, service version, default scripting, I think it's a same scan. So it's a combination of 3 different scans. So let's run this and see how fast that's going to get us something back so we can look around. Now, since we already know it's an Active Directory domain setup, to do our enumeration, there's a tool which I have set up, which I'll be using. I've used it before, but I'll just show you guys because I haven't used it with you guys before to see how that works. So it's called Kerb. Using Kerb, if I list the content of the directory, you see I've got the executable or the binary Kerb. Then I've got the password list and user list, which I'll be using to brute force the Kerberos. Since I know Kerberos is running, I'll be brute forcing Kerberos. But I need some details from my nmap scan to build the command successfully. I need the domain name. I need the domain controller as well, name. Then I need a few other details from the nmap scan. So I'm going to quickly chill and wait. But while I'm waiting, I'll be building up my command. Oh, it's done. Great. That was pretty fast. So looking at this, I can already see some misconfiguration here. From the host script that was run, we can see that message signing is enabled but not required. Oh, enabled and required. So that's good enough. Okay, if it wasn't required, we'd have been able to do some, remember we did some responder stuff and grab some hashes, but it's required. It's SMB version 2 security mode, but that doesn't mean we cannot still exploit it. Okay, moving on, we can see the 3389. Obviously, by now you should know that's RDP. So we have RDP NTLM. And look here, we've got some fun stuff, which is what we've been waiting for. I'm just going to highlight it so I can talk about it. So if you look at this, you see we've got the target name is THMAD, the NetBIOS domain is THMAD, and then the NetBIOS computer name is at Active Directory. So we have the domain name as spooky local, spookysec.local, then the domain computer name as at Active Directory, that's the full name, .spookysec.local. Excuse me. I cannot take this call now, please. So all that is done. Now let's build our command for kerb roots. So the command for kerb roots, we're going to run the binary kerb roots. Then we'll use user enum. User enum. Then we're going to be enumerating users in the domain. The domain controller, we know it's spooky sec.local. Then we also know the domain is spooky sec.local. Then finally we're going to bring in our word list. So we know it's user.text. Then we'll do a threading of 100. Not too fast, not too slow. Oh, probably I've made a mistake somewhere. Oh, tag DC. Double tag DC for the domain controller. Okay, so let's wait for that. Let's see what's going to happen. It's taking a while. We hope it's running in the background. Whoa, that's bad. Nothing came back. Okay, there are several reasons why this will happen based on past experiences, I believe. This could be either that my host does not know how to go to spookysec.local. So it's asking my DNS, which is actually, if I cut the content of my resolve, etc. resolve.conf, you'll see my DNS is Google. So it doesn't know how to go to this because I'm actually tunneling into this network. So one quick way I can fix this, I can edit the content of my etc.host file and point the IP to that domain. So what I can do is I can nano etc. hosts. Let me edit the file. Then I'm going to add a line, for it's 10.10. What's the IP address again? Someone please help me there. I'm here alone. You can't help me. So I'm there myself. I think it's 10.10.174.209. I think 10.10.174.209. Then I'm going to point this to it's spookysec.local. So that IP address should go to that domain. Great. So let's save this. So which means when my host tries to search, if I run the kerb roots, first it checks the host file. So before it goes to check the resolve config file, it checks the host file. If it sees that, it's going to directly take that IP and try to point it there. Then this should work. Let's hope that. So let's save this, get out of here. Then let's come here and run this again and see what happens this time around. Oh, there you go. Obviously it's working now, so which means it knows how to get in there. So we're brute forcing. You can see there's a James, there's a SVC admin. Cool. There's another James capital letter. Robin, dark star, administrator. Backup. Wow. Paradox. Let's wait for that. Cruising is taking its time using stuff, but at least it's working as expected. So that's what we want to. That's what we are excited about. Okay, so wait for it. There's administrator again. Yeah, that's quite fun. We're brute forcing. We're doing this remotely anyways, so you can see how that plays out. Pretty smooth, right? Okay, so let's wait for that to finish. Once we're done, we should have a list of valid names. Then we can go ahead and maybe try to brute force with the password, still using the same tool. Since we have a password file, we can point it to brute force for these usernames and against our password lists. Maybe we might do that, or maybe we might use a different tool to try to use to do this. So let's see. It's taking a while. There are quite a bunch of lists in there. But I think while that is cruising there, I'm going to find, I think I have in packets installed, I believe. Let me find where the in packets, Python in packets suits are. I think so. It's in user, share, and packet example. So I'm gonna go there because I want to use it too there. Oh man, what's wrong with my mouse? So I'm gonna cd, I'll go this way, list the contents. I'm gonna use this get user SPN. I could use that to grab the service principal names of these valid users that we have already. So we're going to point that against it, or maybe point it against a specific user and see if we can grab the service principal name of that user. So I think this is running. We can still run this without it disturbing anything. Let's hope so. So what we're going to do at this point, we're going to get oh, do I have that there? Oh damn. There's I saw that get get user get user SPN, get user SPN. Get user SPN, or we can use the get NP users. Maybe we can use the get NP users. Okay, this is done. So we see all the valid users there. We'll keep that there. We don't need to clear it because we're going to use that. So I think we'll use the get NP user.py. Let's run this against the domain and see if it's going to give us some smile. I'm going to clear this, and I'm going to use Python 3. Then get np-user.py. It's a Python, so let's run it with Python, see if that's going to work. Then we're going to point this to the domain controller. We know the domain controller IP is 10.10. Why do I keep forgetting this? 10.10. I need to learn how to start saving it so I can call it as a variable. 10.10.174.209. 10.10.174.209. So we're pointing all the way there. Now the domain is actually spookysec.local. Then we're pointing this against the user svc. We saw svc admin. Let's try that svc admin. Let's see if we can get the np of this user. So if we're able to grab this, it's going to dump for us maybe some Kerberos stuff, tickets, granting tickets that we can use to move around and make stuff easy for ourselves. We don't know the password, so a quick way to bypass it, scanning for asking us for password, we use the I think it's the no password, no pass command, and run that thing, and that came back pretty quick. So we see that we are able to grab. If you look at what you're seeing there, it's actually granting tickets for SVC admin. So we grab the tickets that this SVC admin can actually use to pass around and do stuff. So we're not going to stop there. Now that we see we're able to grab the tickets, it means we have some form of access. And we're going to try this again for maybe the backup user and see if we're able to do the same for another user, because we know backup usually they have excessive privilege. So this time around we'll run this against backup user, since we saw backup user as well. If look at this is actually backup user from our scan. So run against backup user, and let's see if we can also grab that for the backup user. Oh wow, we couldn't get for backup user. That's pretty bad. So maybe it's going to be tough if we can't get for backup user. User backup does not have a UF, doesn't require prior sets. That's what error is that? Getting user backup doesn't have a UF don't. Oh, that might be a good thing for us, because from what we're seeing there, it means backup will not require tickets. We can abuse that misconfiguration. If backup does not need to require tickets to do stuff, we can abuse that functionality, I believe. Maybe that's what we should be looking at doing. Let's try to abuse that functionality and see if we can use that as a way to maybe pass on these SBC admin tickets to backup. What can that happen? Let's think. Okay. That's bad. Okay. I'm just thinking what can be done. I don't require pre-auth sets. Okay, how about we try to crack this hash first? Let's see if we can grab this password. So I'm going to copy this. I need new space. Should I clear this? I don't want to clear this because I need this. There's some fun stuff there that I need. So maybe I should just push it up, not to clear it. Then how about I try to crack that hash? So what if I copy this hash, put it in a file, and maybe let's see, where am I? I'm gonna cd into opt directory. So let me change directory. Let me go under ops. Let me go into Kerb. I'll do this in Kerb. So I'm gonna nano maybe create a file that I can. I'll just call it hashes, probably. Hash. Then I'm going to paste this in here. Okay, I'm going to write that, save it, and exit. So I've got the hash in there. If I list the content, we can see there's the hash. So what we can do now is we can try to use maybe John or Hashcat. I think I'll prefer Hashcat. I hope it doesn't crash my system anyways. Okay, I have Hashcat installed. So I think the method, because it's a Kerberos ticket, you can go Google to check the method for Kerberos ticket hash format. I think it's about it's 18,200 based on past experience. 18,200. So 18,200 is the hash type. Then we put the tag A. Maybe we'll put A0. Then we'll change. We'll point the hash. Then we can now point to a dictionary file which we're going to use to brute force this. So the dictionary I think is in US user share word list rock.txt. We use this, then we'll force it. Let's hope this runs. Sometimes it's going to throw back at me and say no, my system is going to crash if I do this, because there are already a bunch of stuff running. So it seems like it's running. So we're going to just fold our hands and watch the flow and see if it's going to crack that hash. If it cracks that hash, then it's good for us. At least we've got the SBC admin hash. We can try to use that hash to go authenticate and see what we can get out of doing that. So we might have to patiently wait for this. Okay, see we're moving. Good, we're cruising. So what happened? Did we crack it? Temperature. Watchdog, how do monitor interface not found in the system? Temperature bot trigger disabled. Okay, I think we cracked it. Boom, we did. There you go. That's your password management 2005. Okay, so at least we've hit a milestone. That's good success for us. We've been able to crack that hash. So what we can do now is we can try to use SMB client to log into that user and see if we can log in the share, list the content, then probably we might be able to grab some shell from based on what we did yesterday. So I'm going to leave that there. I don't want to clear that. I don't want to clear this. So I need a new workspace, but not the password management 2005. So I'm going to use this space. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use the SMB clients. Then I think we use the tag L first. Let's list 10.10. Oh, there goes again the IP. I cannot remember. 10.10.174.209. So we're going to try to see if we can use the user. We're specifying the user is SVC admin. If it's possible, let's see the workgroup password. We know the password is management 2005. Oh, it feels so cool when this works, you know. So we can list the shares. We see there's admin, we see there's backup, we see there's IPC dollar net logon sys vol. Okay, SMB version 1 is disabled. That's good configuration done there. So now we're able to list the share. Then what? Can we access a share? Maybe we're able to get into a share. I see there's this backup there. Remember we had checked the backup earlier and it was telling us that it doesn't require pre-auth, so no pre-authentication required. So can we try to access that backup share? Let's get our command chain running again, but this time around we're going to try to see if we can access backup share. If we're able to, then we might be able to read the content or even write. We might have write access into backup. So what we're going to do is we're going to go like yesterday, 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go like yesterday. Then we're going to try to access backup. We see there's backup there. That's why we're doing this. We could try any of these, but we're trying the backup. And with that user, since we have the user's password, we'll put the password 2005 management. Oh, we're in. I love that sound. Okay, great. So let's list the content. Okay, let me stretch this a bit so it's fairly readable. So I see there's a backup credentials.txt, and just like yesterday, we can actually try to read the content of that backup credentials.txt. So we can use the more command on backup credentials.txt. Oh, great. So we've got this base 64 thing going on here, just like yesterday. We're going to copy this base 64 thing and try to decode it. Okay, so I think that's just a string, but take note of that /temp /snb more dot vpsiap. I'm just taking note just in case I might need that later. So that's it. And end. Get the hell out of here, man. Damn you. Okay, great. So we got out of there finally after fighting with it a bit. So what can we do? What if we try to decode that which we copied and see if we're able to, since we're able to read it, can we decode it? If we're able to decode it using the basis for decoder, maybe it might reveal the backup password for us, the backup credentials. Since we couldn't grab the backup hash, now we're trying to go grab the backup credentials. So if you remember yesterday, I used the base 64. I use the base 64, kind of like I can use the tag D or I can use the tag decode. It's the same thing, nothing different. Then I'm going to point this to the string that I copied or paste this there. So this should be fine. This should be able to decode this for me without giving me problem. I hope so. Let's run this. Great. So we got, so let's make a record. So we know for SVC admin, his password is management 2005. For backup, His password, we can see from our decoding, is backup. Then that's 2517864. 2517860. Sorry. So we grab the backup password. If you look at that, that's the backup password. So which means we're game, we're good to go. Now that we have the backup passwords, what can we do? Can we try to maybe dump the secrets using that backup account and see if we're able to dump probably other credentials using the backup? Usually backup has right to read and even write on the credentials. So since it's backup account, so what we're going to do now is we're going to try to go back to our in-packet folder, and I think there's a secret. Let's list the contents. There is a secrets dump. If we look for that carefully, SMB secrets dump.py. So we're going to run that against the backup account. So we use Python 3 secret dumps.py. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use the domain controller only. We're attacking the domain controller only. We're not attacking any other box there on the network. We have to be specific. So we're using the account backup. I'm just going to copy this and its password as usual, because we're running this against the specific backup account, if you remember. So copy, I think I can just type it back up, backup at spooky sec.local. Let's see if this is going to give us something. It's asking for the password. We know the password is backup 2517860. There you go. Wait for it. Is it going to give us some smile? It's dumping stuff at us. Okay, this is what we want to see. Now look at that. So we're dumping all the hashes for all the accounts. We're dumping administrator, we're dumping guest, we're dumping the Kerberos, we're dumping the Kerberos accounts, the SpookySec, local, Skiddy, other users. You can look at that. Skiddy, backup, Sherry, Horshack, Maryland, Paradox. We just dumped every bit of credentials on that box. So what I could do, I could pass this onto a file just to make it easy for me. But my interest here is on the administrator's account. So if I go all the way to the top, I saw administrator, the first one. Where is it? These are also administrators. Wow. Okay, HMAC, other format of the hash. Let me go up. I need this one with 500. So great. That's the administrator. I'm going to copy that administrator with his seed, and I'm going to maybe try to see if I can use PSSEC, since I have his hash, do a pass the hash attack. That might be a fun thing to do. So maybe let's try to do a pass the hash attack. We'll grab this, copy it, then we go down. I think if I list the content again, I have a PSSEC to do pass the hash. I think I do in here. PSSEC. So I'm going to do a pass the hash attack. Python 3 PSSEC. What we're doing is we're passing the hash. Since we don't know the password, but we know the hash, so we can pass the hash, and we'll pass that hash. Then we'll try to log in as administrator to the domain. So we know the domain is at spookysec.local. So this is past the hash attack. Will it work? Whoa. Damn. This Python thing sucks. Oh, damn. And there goes Python thing. Trying to mess me up now. Please don't. Python thing trying to mess me up. Okay, let me try. and wrap this up. Sometimes that might just be the little cheats that makes it work. Hashes, and I'm going to wrap this up and try it again. That didn't work, so maybe I'm going to clean this up. Remove this and try it again. That didn't work still. So is this module of PS, is it corrupted? Is it bad? Or it's just demigods don't want me to work now. I'm gonna clear this. Okay, we have to debug this. So if something is not working out fine for us, as usual, what do? We try to fix it, right? Okay, great. So what is the problem with it? Is it the hash format? Is there a problem with the hash format? What's the problem? What could be 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 the problem? Do I need to clean it up? Is that a problem? Okay, we need to look for a way to fix this, guys. So let me clean this hash up a bit and see if that's the problem. So oh damn. Okay. All right, see, hacking can be frustrating. I wouldn't lie to you. In my experience in the field, I've seen a bunch of wacky stuff. Look at what was just giving me a headache now. It was just those two last column at the end of the hash, and it was almost frustrating me. Hacking can be. It's just the never say never spirit that actually keeps you going. Let me tell you the truth. Some days it doesn't work. You're almost giving up, but just because you know it just has to work, you keep pushing until you get it working. So we have access to the box. If I do a who am I don't need to escalate privilege because I'm already NT authority. I'm already administrator on that box. So there's no point me stressing myself trying to want to escalate my privilege or do anything funny. So at this point, we have admin access on the box. So what can we do? What can we do? We could try and search the box for useful information or grab some useful information from the box. Or you could also use a tool called Evil Win RM. I'm not sure I have it here. Let me see. Evil Win. I don't have it. Is it an app repo? Apt install Evil EVIL Win RM. There's a tool called Evil Win RM. Win RM. If it's in the apt repo, it's not in the apt repo. So I could, if it was there, I could use it also to do the same thing that I just did. If this, I didn't mean this PS exec thing didn't work. I would have gone to use this other option, which is Evil Win RM. But let's Google. Let's see if I can grab it down and then maybe set it up. So I just show you guys also other options. So it's always good to have multiple options. If I know how to spell Evil Win RM correctly, because my spelling sucks. Okay, my head is somewhere else, that's the truth, because I have other things to do. I have a presentation somewhere today, so I need to get myself together. Trying to install it on Kali. Why am I going through GPU? I don't need GPU on Kali for real, it sucks. Okay, so I can clone the repo here. Then I can use gem install, or I can use oh damn, I don't want to mess up my system now. I need a better option. If I can just clone the repo and just use make or go to install it. Okay, this is the official page. So let's see the description. Installation method 1, install it. Gem install it. Okay, so let's grab the gem. I think I have gem, so gem should be able to install it for me. I'm gonna try this. I have gem. Okay, great. So it's going to pull it and install it for me. I mean, that solves my problem. That's just what I need right now. I don't want to clone another repo and bug my system with no space. So I think it worked. So let me show you the second trick. So we're going to use evo-lunar-rem. Oh, there you are. Where is it? evo-lunar-rem we'll use to do the same thing. So the user we know is administrator. We know that's the user. Then we have the hash of the administrator. I'm going to steal it from here. I'll just copy it from here. I think it's all the way down to here. And paste it here. Okay, so we have the hash. Then we can point it to the tag I, the IP address, which is 10 dots. Dang. My head needs a reboot. 174.209, 10.174.209. So we have that. This should work as plan B, just in case. Invalid hash. Oh, so do we need to put the not the complete hash, just the okay, so it's not taking evo-lunar-rem is not taking the complete NT, it's only taking the LM hash. So let's go all the way and take off the NT and run against the LM hash. Boom, great. So we're seeing some fun stuff. So wait for it. Remote path completion is disabled due to Ruby limitation. Oh, great. We're in the box. Who am I? Administrator. Okay, so we're in the box already. This takes us straight to the administrator's document. So we can probably go back, change our directory, and probably list content and steal some creds as usual, just to prove that we did our job well. So let's we have 2 access now. Let's cd go back. We should have write access without restriction. Let's go back. Then on the users, let's list the content. So here are creds: administrator, backup, public SBC admin. We steal these creds and we show them that we're done with the job. And I think finito. That's it, guys. Is anything else? We already have admin access on the box. So at this point we have no restriction, we have no limits. We can only go as far as maintaining persistency, pull in some files, some binaries and install them, write registries, or maybe hijack DLLs and do some funny stuff. But all that I'll leave to your imagination. So once again, thank you for connecting and having fun with me in this brief session, and I hope to see you soon again. Alright, it was fun. Thanks.